Hi everybody, it's Diane here, working in progress because the storage was full on my phone and I didn't know it, and it only taped like a minute. So the idea here is to make 2, or maybe we'll do 3 because you haven't seen much, ICADs out of one magazine, which granted this is a fat one, December '02. And I'm doing this because I was watching a couple of my videos to approve them before they go up on YouTube here. And I did a lot of hunting around in magazines, which I know is really unusual anyway, but I don't know. I just thought, well, what would happen if I could only use one magazine? That's it. You have one. So that's what we're trying. And so far it's fine. But as I said, this is a bigger magazine, so I'm a little ahead of the game with that. But anyway, that one I think you could see. This one is a little more, it's a kind of impressionism type painting. It was an ad. But I had noticed I had passed some stuff in the video that not necessarily matched perfectly or anything, but I just thought, oh, maybe I should have cut that out for something else, another ICAD or something. So if I limit myself to one magazine, maybe I won't do that. We're taking bets now. Well, it is different when you're making a video, you're talking, you're kind of thinking about what you should talk about, you're also trying to work, blah, blah, blah. Cute puppy. Almost looks like a stuffed animal, doesn't it? So, we'll save that for the altered dog book. It is different than when you're working just by yourself, So, keep that in mind. It's her point. Do you have a point, Diane? I did. It gets lost sometimes when you're talking and working. This is cool. And okay, did I use something like this in a different IKEA years ago? Actually, it looks like a modern version of Buster's house in 1 week, doesn't it? And nobody I'm talking to knows what I'm talking about. If I think of it, I'll put a picture of it in. Okay, so 4. We're going to come up with 4 ICADs. And actually, this is an experiment, isn't it? Yeah, I wasn't too sure how the phrasing, if I wanted a word or whatever, would work if I'm limited to one magazine. We'll see. And I can paint, I can sew. If I'm really destitute, I can look at something else. I'm giving myself that permission, but I just wanted to try this. And now that I have 4 cards going, it's kind of dumb, Diane. I suppose a big fat magazine, you could probably get all of your ICADs done from one magazine, huh? That would be very interesting, wouldn't it? That can go somewhere, or we can start another card. I don't think I've ever done this before. I said limit myself. I know there was that collage book stuff I did way back there. There was one of the prompts was use something from every page of a magazine, which I didn't like at all. Pretty poppies. Maybe that could go on this. Alright, is the storage still open? Yeah. I knew there was a lot of stuff on there, but I didn't think there was that much stuff on there. You know how dumb you feel when you're when you're talking about stupid stuff to begin with, and then all of a sudden you realize you're not even filming. It builds a lot of self-esteem. Wow, that's quite a ring. And you're kind of down in the picture there. I'm sorry. Wow, look at this house. Is this too cool? This woman, Willie, I can't pronounce her last name. Pogany. Set designer and illustrator of children's books. Painted murals on this house. Wow, that's cool. Very good, Willie. We need film strips for anything? I don't think so, not today. Okay, are we coming up to a problem getting towards the end here? Oh, I know them. Not personally. Well, Diane, this is a nice perusal through the magazine, but you're not cutting anything out now. Yeah, I noticed. Unlikely pairings. How about that? For possibly the chair one. Or possibly the tree one, depending on what we find to put with the trees. Boy, and granted, this is over 20 years old, but their magazines have changed so much. The magazine itself, the paper, the amount of pages, and the styles, which I know they don't really have control over that, right? But well, I don't know what we're going to put with these trees. The other ones actually are pretty good to go. They could use a little extra, but that would be enough as far as I'm concerned, to start gluing. Let's look quick. Here's where that came from. Pretty cool. And I promise when I'm off camera, I won't look in another magazine. Another chair. Well, I don't really want a chair. Let's see. I could certainly save it for something else if I don't like it here. The color is good. It's okay. A little large. If I can't find anything else, I'll just go with it. Of course, I suppose it's not too interesting for you guys. I'm going through the same magazine, right? All right, I'll just do a few more pages. Where did we start? I don't know because my storage got full and I had to stop. I don't remember where I was. Well, it must have been past this because this is where I got that. Cool rug. No. Well, that statue's not too bad to sit in there, but that's not really my style. We'll remember that, though. If I can't find anything. How about an Emmy? That would be kind of funny. All right, folks, I'm going to pause. I'll try to find something to put on that chair, or I may replace the chair with something else if I find something better. I'll glue down what I can, and then we'll come back and finish it off. Okay, hang on. Okay, what you see is glued, a little wet. And this one's not too bad. I'm going to stitch, I think, between here. One, it's a little boring, and two, it's a little crooked. I did add a scrap of paper bird, and I punched some stars, okay? Because I don't know if that's really supposed to look like a moon, or there's some white paint. I'm taking it as a moon. Okay, as long as I have this out, what about stars on this one? But I'm thinking white. Oh, it looks like a gold star got stuck in there. Let's see. It's okay. What happened to the gold one? There it is. Oh, actually, that's not bad. I didn't think that would show up. It does. It's better than the white. Okay. Prove me wrong. Go ahead. Well, we just did, Diane. Okay. Do we want, come on, the white at all? Well, I could put it there as long as I have it, right? Okay. I doubt you can hear it, but my neighbors are blaring music. It's actually not too bad, though, the selections. That's just unusual. Isn't that the truth? Every time you hear someone blaring music, it's music you don't care for. Yeah, I'll get hit with a copyright infringement on YouTube because of my neighbor's music, right? That would not surprise me. Where'd it go? No, I don't know. I don't know where that one went. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, one in that area, and I think that's good. Okay, for the stars. Okay, edges on this. I don't know. All right, I am putting my glasses on for the statue. It's okay. But it looks like it's floating in this stuff because I guess essentially it is. Can she paint a little bit? Where's the dark green? I lost it. Come on. All right. Oh, here. All right. If it doesn't look so great, I could probably just wipe it right off. This is very glossy magazine. I don't know. Can you even see that? I'll hold it up in a minute. It doesn't show up that much. Kind of watery. What I see of it is better. Can you tell now? Can you see? That looks better to me. Okay. Yeah, what about those edges? I don't know. I'm going to leave them for now because I don't know. I might just leave them. I mean, they're even. But they kind of balance these white flowers. We're thinking about that. Okay, this one. I added the earrings. And then it had said unlikely pairings. Well, since we had two of these and two of these and two of these, and they're all sort of in similar colors, it's actually likely pairings. So I was gonna just cut unlikely or on off and have likely pairings, and I thought, well, that's kind of stupid. I don't really like that. So we just had pairings. I think that's fine. But this is lacking down here. There was another piece of this. I don't remember what that was. Is it a necklace? Whatever it is. That's okay. I don't really like it over the chair legs so much. All right, did we dare try to cut around it? All right, she'll try it. I can find the scissors here. Okay. All right, that's fine. I'm not going to, take that space out, so to speak. What would actually not be showing behind the leg. I'm not going to worry about that. Absolutely nobody is ever going to notice that. And besides you and I, nobody's ever going to look at these cards anyway. So I bind them up at the end and put them in a shoebox, and maybe someday someone will take them out and go, what am I supposed to do with these? Okay. Okay, that's better. I was thinking of sewing around the word. Okay, maybe sewing. This one, we did add a non-magazine thing. Now, if you're paying attention, you should know who and what that is. That's Buster from that picture I put in when I was talking about the movie one week. Okay, I like it. I cut out the pear. I didn't really want to because I thought the gray went well with it, but it was too big. I kind of cut around it so you could see some of the gray, and it just looked like I did a really bad job cutting. So I cut the pear completely out. I added a little faux stitch line because they are always kind of plain once it was cut out. Okay. This isn't bad. I don't think it looks completed. I'm kind of thinking of just stitching. I don't think you really want anything else with it. So I'm thinking of stitching on that. Oh yeah, I failed to mention on this. This was the one, the chair didn't make it. Although I maintain that it would look nice. But I just could not find anything to put on it. And I saw that statue in that AD, so. Okay, folks, I'm going to pause one more time and sew. And then I assume they'll be done. Hang on. Okay, ICADians, we're all done. So I just did zigzag stitching on that side. That's kind of neat. It's a little bit muted, hard to discern kind of, but it's cool. I think it's cool. Okay, I did paint the edges of this as long as the paint was here. It was okay, as I had said. I think you could have left it. Feel free to leave it when you do the exact same card. But like I said, the paint was here, so I just decided to go ahead and paint it. I didn't want to sew or anything, however, because, I would have run into stuff. I did just kind of do a green. It kind of stood out, so I wasn't trying to match exactly, but I made it darker down here and then lighter here, so that was my reasoning for that. Okay. This one I just stitched around pairings, as I said. Actually, I think that's kind of cool. I don't really have any other comment on that. If you really wanted to, you could maybe draw a line like with the under the back two chair legs, maybe, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, and then the one that turned into a Buster one. I just did messy stitching, as you can see, intentionally messy stitching. I didn't want to run into any of the elements there, so that's why I did it that way. Okay, so what did I learn doing this with the one magazine? Well, it can be done, as I'm sure most all of us knew that ahead of time anyway. It can definitely be done. It can be a little more boring to the artist and probably to the viewer. If you're like going to travel, wanted to take a little craft project with you, you can bring one magazine. That's kind of good to know. I will say they're all kind of different. That's something, from the same magazine, you think maybe they'd wind up looking similar. I don't really think so. I mean, you can tell it's all magazine. This one's a little different. It was interesting. It was kind of fun. I don't think it really, is worth limiting yourself. I didn't really think it was better or anything like that. So, okay, there's your big tips from Diane today. So, 4 more ICADs, though. That's quite a bit. Okay, everybody, thanks for hanging in there watching. I hope you have a nice day.